the Chicago Bears travel to the Ravens, who are reeling right now, but reinforcements are coming. Lamar Jackson will potentially be back this weekend, though he is still limited in practice. And since Lamar Jackson is back, despite only having one win, the Ravens are favored by 6.5 at home against the Bears. Y'all's keys to this game.
Lamar Jackson. If he plays, they win. If he doesn't, they lose.
Okay, I'm gonna immediately push
Well,
back
he is
on
gonna
that,
play.
which I
That's
know
a troll.
I know it's
That's a troll.
facetious, but like the Rams. Holy crap, the Ravens are giving up the most points per game.
Yeah,
in the
I
NFL.
do not actually believe that. I do think Lamar Jackson is important to this game.
Oh well, yeah. You'd rather
But-
have him than Cooper Rush or
Tyler Huntley.
Yes, not Tyler Huntley, Snoop
Huntley.
Huntley.
Huntley?
Yeah.
That's what he wants to be known by.
All right, cool.
So I don't know how much that really matters. It helps the offense, sure.
Yeah.
Can the defense figure something out though? Your thoughts on this game, though, JP?
So, like I said, the Ravens are 1-5.
I believe yes.
1-5.
Yes,
Yeah.
1-5. That means they have 11 games left. They gotta go like 9-2 in the 11 games left, which is possible given their schedule going forward. But they gotta go on a run, and they gotta start right now. They gotta start quick right now. This is a 100% must win for the Ravens, because otherwise you have to win 9 of your next 10, and that's no formality. They of course host Chicago this weekend, and then they'll go play fake football in Miami against the Dolphins in Mike McDaniel's final game for the Dolphins next week. But it's out in front of them. They still have big games on their schedule. They got to play Cincinnati twice. They have to play Pittsburgh twice. Lamar struggled with Pittsburgh a ton. They have to go to Green Bay in the second to last week of the season, which was one of my favorite games that I highlighted coming into the year. Big storyline in this game. Lamar Jackson has beaten 29 of 32 NFL franchises. The 3 franchises he has not beaten is, of course, Baltimore, which he may eventually beat one day if they decide to move on from him instead of John Harbaugh for whatever reason. The Green Bay Packers, which he'll get a chance this year, and the Chicago Bears. He has never beaten the Chicago Bears. He gets a chance to beat his 30th NFL franchise this weekend. For me, I think that's the biggest storyline. Well, be Ravens have to win. They need to win. Everything's against them. And Chicago kind of gets to come into this game with house money after stealing a game against the Washington Commanders. A game-winning drive the week prior from Caleb Williams against the Raiders, and then an ugly win, but a win nonetheless, against the Saints last week. And so they are now sitting at 4-2, and they're well within their division race. They've won 4 in a row, so losing this game I don't think holds too much against them. That being said, they could put the Ravens kind of out of their misery, and I think Ben Johnson is going to relish, in that opportunity. And I'm excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm going to try and talk through some hiccups here. Hopefully they don't keep flaring up. But do you think the Ravens removing all fun activities from their locker room matters at all? Or is that just the stupidest thing ever?
I don't think it matters. I
I
think
agree.
that it's not going to bring back all the players they have injured on defense. And I get that the defense was playing bad before the injuries, but now that they've sustained so many injuries, it's just irrelevant.
Did you see that Marlon Humphrey wants to eat 50 hot dogs from 50 states in one day?
No, I have so many questions.
That's what he said.
That is what he said.
Did he elaborate? Does he want to travel to each state and eat it there, or he wants to gather 50 hot dogs?
I'm
from
not
50
positive. He didn't really elaborate. It was just a tweet he had. Personally, I think he needs to put the podcast to bed, kind of like how Podcast P Paul George did last season.
Yes.
Before it's too late. The ping pong table will be continue to be removed until morale improves. That's good. But yeah,
I think it does matter to the slightest degree.
okay.
Because I've been in locker rooms and I've been a part of teams, and I understand a little bit how those kinds of moves can help or hurt dynamics. A practice hell week is a big thing that basketball coaches use a ton. and those can really do one of two things. They can break your team and make you quit on the coach for the most part, because why are we running a bunch of suicides because you, for whatever reason, don't believe your own players who are telling you that we did not steal the new team backpacks from the storage closet. We did not steal those. But why do you think we did when eventually it was found out that a random student stole them during PE class, yet we had to run suicides for 2 straight practices because you believed that it was us? Stuff like that can hurt your team
Seems
dynamics.
personal.
That's a true story.
The coach is an idiot there.
Yeah.
Because why in the world would the team steal their own team backpacks and then not wear them?
Yeah, and that hurt us a ton. That hurt the team a ton. It hurt the team dynamics a ton. So stealing people's ping pong tables may have a similar dynamic,
Sure.
especially it can happen for the players that feel like they're doing their best and are putting everything that they want. And why are you taking away our joy from ping pong tables? But I think it can help them for a week, but I don't think it helps them much more than outside of that, because ultimately I think you already are playing such a physical and violent sport that going through hell for a week, a hell week, is manageable. But doing it week after week is not possible.
Sure.
So much of these franchises, so much of their money goes into their facilities and providing the best comfort possible for their players so that they can perform at their best on Sundays. So I don't think it only helps them just in the slightest bit for a week. That being said, like Sanders said, it doesn't make people healthier.
Yeah.
They did not get hurt playing ping pong. They got hurt playing football.
Someone could have. We don't know.
That's true.
We've had crazier injuries before.
Also true. I want to see, personally, Caleb Williams and this offense take apart the Ravens' defense. I want to see Ben Johnson take apart the Ravens' defense.
Sure.
I think they have every opportunity to do that. And with their newfound run game success over the past 2 weeks with DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai, shout out Rutgers legend Kyle Monangai. Waiver wire pickup this week. If you missed them, it's too late. So I want to see them perform against the Ravens defense, because they've already done that. They did that against the Cowboys defense, and they performed really, really well. And then these last 3 weeks have kind of been a struggle. Like the Raiders game was not clean. Caleb had a ton of picks. The Commanders game obviously was not clean. It was Jaden Daniels that performed really well that night, not Caleb Williams. And then last week was not clean either. Caleb Williams, I think, had 4 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Which, not that fantasy
Can't
matters
confirm.
in terms of production, but it is a showing of your production that day. So I'd need to see that from the Bears. And I think that's a huge part of this game.
Sure.
And I think it helps them a ton. And to go into picking the game, the Ravens are favored by 6.5. That just screams backdoor cover at worst for the Bears. And I actually think they're going to have a really good chance in this game. I think this game is going to be close. I think this game is a shootout. I'm going to say that this is my seer prediction of the weekend. I'm going to pick the Chicago Bears to kill the Baltimore Ravens.
Wow.
As they should. Bears.
Sure.
A bear would destroy a raven in a fight.
No, Raven could fly ahead of, above them, and the bear couldn't get to him.
But then what's the Raven doing up above?
That doesn't win the fight.
Yeah, but the bear wouldn't. The Raven would just not lose.
Well, as soon as the Raven comes in to try and make an attack,
but the Raven could fly away, and then when the bear goes to sleep, fly in and claw at his eyes.
the Bears' eyes are closed.
Yeah.
That's not how they're not bulletproof.
It's not winter yet. We're not hibernating yet.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, the bird can fly away until winter.
I think the Ravens got to
He's
land
gonna
at
play
some
the- he's
point.
gonna play the long
it's
game.
a 3-hour game.
He's playing the
like,
long game.
It's a 60-minute game. We don't have that much time, personally. Give me Chicago to win and cover this weekend. Caleb and that offense to cook. And the Ravens defense to not be able to stop Chicago. And Lamar looks a little rusty off of
Sure.
3 weeks being injured. Give me Chicago. That's my seer prediction of the weekend.
Yeah, I also feel very comfortable taking Chicago to cover. I was pretty surprised to see the line at 6.5 when I first saw it. I think we actually talked about it on the show Sunday, and I guessed Ravens 1.5 as the line. So I feel very comfortable taking the Bears. The thing I'm most interested in seeing is the Bears' run defense has been much improved over the past two weeks. Now you played the Saints, but then you played Bill and the Commanders' run game, which has had some success this season. But can you keep that up and stop Derrick Henry on the ground? But regardless, give me the Bears to cover.
Yeah, I'll also take the Bears to cover. But I will not, use a seer to predict them to ups. I've got a reputation to uphold as the leader in the pick'em right now at a incredible 10-11
Yeah,
under
just
500.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, so you got to protect that reputation as the leader in the pick'em among the three of us.
Crazy.